Getting student loans. 7 mistakes that cost you. Getting student loans should not be that hard to do. Unfortunately, it is. Not because there's money for school available. There are literally billions of dollars set aside for college grants and loans. However, the process of applying for an educational loan or a grant for college is tedious, and even a single mistake can cost you thousands of dollars. And there are loads of pitfalls on the road to getting money for school. In this series, I'm going to discuss 7 of the most common mistakes parents make when trying to get an educational loan or a grant for college. So, mistake number 1 is missing deadlines. This should be obvious, but it is a mistake that a lot of families make. College student loans and grants require that you apply. When filing applications, there are deadlines. When you miss a deadline, it usually means you're no longer eligible for that grant or loan. This may not seem like a big obstacle because, after all, the FAFSA application deadline, which is the main application for federal student loans, isn't until June. However, each individual state has its own deadline for aid, each school has its own financial aid deadline, and every private education loan or grant for college has its own deadline. And these deadlines can change from year to year. So if you're going to maximize the amount of money you get, you need to be up to date on each funding source and extremely organized. If not, it could cost you $1,000 in grant money. And again, all this makes sense, but there's something you may not know. Being on time may not be enough. Most college student loans and grants don't wait until the deadline is reached before they process applications. They process the applications as they come in. When the money is gone, it is gone, even if it's before the deadline. That means the earlier the application, the better the chance of getting financing for the college. And even if you are able to get money later on, your chance of getting a maximum amount of college financing is much greater when the coffers are full rather than 2/3 empty. The bottom line is you need to get your application in early. How early? As early as possible. Some schools require that you apply in the fall of your child's senior year. In summary, you need to know the deadline of every source of student loans and grants to which you're applying and get the application as close to the start date as possible. Loan and grant deadlines are just one of the many obstacles that stand between you and the college funding that you should receive. And quite frankly, it's the easiest obstacle to overcome. Remember, we're talking about a lot of money here. Colleges and universities cost between $100,000 and $250,000 for a 4-year program. And that's more money than most people make working full-time. It only makes sense that you treat getting money for college with the same care and seriously you treat your own career. My advice is you do not do this yourself. There's so many ways to do this wrong, and it will cost you thousands of dollars to do. Get a professional to do the work for you. Here's a link to the expert that I recommend. It's at undergraduateloans.org/freeconsult.html. I've known him for years. He does a great job, and he's not expensive. Also, he's agreed to give you a free consultation just to let you know how much money you can expect to save. So again, go to undergraduateloans.org/freeconsult.html and see what money you can actually save on college.